Hi guys! So it's time for another draw. This is going to select my next book in the PopSugar Reading Challenge for 2026. And I have the books here. Well, not all of the books because I did change some of the books on since I printed this out, like I always say in these videos. But let's get to it. What are we waiting for? Well, let's see what I'm going to read next. So, which one do I feel like? Let's draw one that is kind of sneaking. Okay, I feel like this one. Oh, 39. Oh, yeah. This was one of my most problematic prompts. Let me show you. So I have the prompts here. I can read it. It's number 39, which says, a book with a character who runs a marathon. Problem number one, I hate running. I actually really hate running, like with a passion. It's one of those things which is just like in high school, well, in school in general, we had to run a lot. And part of the reason why I hate running is, fun fact about me, when I was born, I actually suffered a brain injury. Yay, me. And because of that, I have a coordination problem. And the coordination problem shows up with coordinating my left side with my right side. These don't communicate that well in my brain. And because of this, sometimes especially on the left side, sometimes my brain doesn't know what my left side is doing. So in running, I look like I'm actively falling forward, like by a lot. Like my feet are all over the place. And also I do fall very easily when running because my brain can't keep up with the movement. And because of this, I was actually bullied a lot, especially in high school. Like the others would scream at me, like, some very not nice things when they saw me running. And we also had to run outside on the street in front of the high school because there was like a big, well, there still is, in my high school, there's a big like field, like, I don't know why, but there's like an empty field in front of my high school. And this is in a city. And we would have to run on that field. And we had another high school next door, and they would like come out during breaks and stuff. Their breaks were somehow different, or maybe they had like an empty class or something. I don't know. But there would be kids from that school as well outside, and they would like see me run and actively shout at me very, very bad things. So I still actively avoid running in front of people. I just say that. Or you could say that I have running related trauma. Another interesting thing though is that I actually knew I had a boss who was an ultra marathon runner. That means that he would participate in stuff like 4-day running, or stuff like run around Lake Balaton, or run from Budapest to Vienna. Insane stuff like that. And he was like the skinniest guy, and he would actually have to have something like 8,000 calories a day because he would run marathons as practice. Like every day he would run a marathon, and he ran marathons in some like 2 hours. So it was crazy like that. So every time someone says like, oh, I'm still preparing for a marathon, I'm like, well, I know a guy who runs that every day. I know it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's like, and it's not a very healthy thing to be that into running because he actually had a friend who once had a stress fracture in his leg because he was running so much. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. So let's see. I want to check because I was actually changing what I'm going to read for this a couple of times. But I think I actually I ended up returning to this because I kind of like this book. I don't know if I can get an audiobook, so I may actually have to, read it as a, like, with my eyeballs. But it's not a long book. I saw it on Goodreads, there's something like 240 pages, so I should be fine. And maybe I won't be finishing this as fast as my other books, but we'll see. Maybe I can find an audiobook for it. I don't know. I'll look around again. Anyway, so the book is Running Like, I'm going to just focusing. Okay, Running Like a Girl by, what was her name? I can't remember the name. Alexandra Heminsley. I hope I'm not butchering that name. Sorry. So Running Like a Girl. I think it's like biographical. I like biographies, so that's good. I didn't like, I had a cursory glance at it and I thought I liked it. But that was a while ago and I have no memory of it. Terrible. But yeah, so that's my next read, Running Like a Girl. And I'm not going to run like a girl. I'm not going to run at all. I do Zumba. I am trying to lose weight. Like anyone with my weight would probably try to lose weight, but it's not easy because I have issues. And the brain injury was like the start of my issues. Like this body isn't, nothing functions. Like there isn't a single thing in this body that functions well. Seriously, I can't name a thing. Anyway, so that's it. And if you want to check how I like this book, or if you want to check my other books that I'm reading for this challenge, or if you want to make sure that I actually complete this challenge, then follow along and subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do. And thanks for watching, and see you in my review. Bye. Hi guys! This is a review of Running Like a Girl by Alexandra Heminsley. I read this book as part of the 2026 PopSugar Reading Challenge, and this was for prompt number 39, which is a book with a character who runs a marathon. So I'm kind of an overachiever on this front because this person runs several marathons. So this is an autobiographical book. Well, it's actually divided to two parts. One is autobiographical, and part number 2 is practical tips for running and marathons. Kind of. I'll get to that. So I didn't like this book. I mean, this is my first book in the challenge that I actually didn't like. I'm sorry. So this was written in 2013. And I kind of expected it to be like this witty because it says it's a book about a girl who wasn't a runner becoming a runner. And no, you were a runner, sweetheart. I hate to break it to you, but you were a runner. Because the only reason why she didn't run was because she couldn't get her booty off the couch. So, and what got her booty off the couch? Her brother running a marathon. Yeah. Because this book, she never does anything of her own volition. Like, she runs a marathon because her brother runs a marathon. She runs a marathon because her friend runs a marathon. She runs a marathon because she wants to go places and that sort of thing. So she never just runs a marathon to run a marathon. She always needs a second thing to get her to run a marathon. So this book is basically In the first part, she trains, she runs. She trains for a marathon, she runs a marathon. She trains for a marathon, she runs a marathon. That's basically it. And it's kind of boring and very monotonous because it never just gets, I don't know, it never gets funny. I was kind of expecting it to be funny, like maybe, like there was a book, actually around the time when this book was written, I read another book, which was about this woman who was obese in Australia, and she wanted to like get in shape, lose a lot of weight and stuff like that, and it's about her journey. It's actually very good. It's I think it was Confessions of a Reformed Dieter. It's a very good book. Can't remember the author, but I laughed my everything off when I was listening to that book. And this book, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. Like I read some reviews that said, "Oh, this is just British humor, darling." I'm like, because she is British. I'm like, I know British humor. I grew up on British humor because where I live in Hungary, we used to watch a lot of British humor. Like I grew up on Benny Hill and You Rang Me Lord and all of those kind of things. And I'm a great fan of dry British humor that sort of makes fun of yourself. This wasn't it. Also, she's kind of full of herself. Like really, she's like, oh, and I went and I succeeded and all of that. But yeah, you can succeed without someone actually holding your hand and pulling you through the finish line. Literally. Sometimes. And also, she's kind of like, me and her, we're like total opposites. Like, we don't even live on the same planet. She's the type of woman who actually kind of annoys me. It's a great book for me to read because she's the type of woman who always needs someone, the type who always has a boyfriend. Well, okay, she doesn't always have a boyfriend, but always has a group of friends, always has someone. Like she can't go to the toilet alone. She has to have someone to go with her to the toilet because, oh my God, if she goes anywhere alone. Like there's actually one point where she goes abroad alone and she cries in her hotel room. I've been to Japan on my own. Like 2 weeks completely on my own. Like when I was actually flying from Malaysia where I met up with my cousin, and then I flew to Japan on my own. And when I was entering, the people were checking the if seeing if you went to like illegal work there or something. They were like, "You're going alone?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You're really going alone?" I'm like, "Yeah." "And what are you going to do there?" "I'm a tourist. I'm going to see the sights." Like, come on. How old was I? 36. I was 36-year-old woman. Like, I can travel to Japan alone and spend 2 weeks alone. I had the time of my life. I love being alone. So, yeah. I mean, I've been traveling on my own for like years and years. I even moved abroad alone, like completely alone. I didn't know anyone. I just went and moved. So yeah, me and her, not even in the same universe. And let's talk about the second part because I can just rant about this one for like forever. And I'm already 6 minutes and I don't want to do that. Anyway, so let's talk about the second part. So actually in the second part, very in the beginning, she already got my nerves because there was this bit like, oh, the pain is just in your mind. Just go and run. Well, I actually can't run. I'm not allowed to run because my legs and my hips and my spine are in such bad condition that I'm forbidden from running. So, no, sweetheart, not everyone's pain is just in their minds. And also, actually, there was a time when I did ignore my pain, and it turned out that I just made everything worse. Yeah. My physiotherapist said, So you did work out when you were in pain, didn't you? And I went like, yeah. And she went like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You just made everything worse. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So no, don't work out. If you're in pain, just go and see a doctor. And so yeah, that already was a great stellar start to the second part. And there were some other great nuggets of truth in there. Also, the whole marathon fundraising thing, it actually in my country it doesn't work like that. And I'm continuously baffled that you actually have to like gather money to run a marathon because you're running for a charity, and then you have to convince other people to sponsor you. I mean, it could be that I wasn't brought up like this, but that just sounds actually really insane to me. Like, what? And she goes into detail, like not in the first part where how she raised money or stuff. She probably just, asked her friends, and she's a journalist, so she just probably knew a lot of people with money who could like sponsor her. But then she actually goes into detail in the tips section in the second part, and it sounds like another job, like build a website, go on social media, post frequently, post your workouts, post this, post that, write emails, go in person, whatever. I'm like, who has that much time? And also you're training for a marathon next to all of that. Like seriously, it's like taking on another job. Like her dad actually used to run marathons. I don't know if he did the whole fundraising thing, but I can imagine because they were like 3 kids. Like I can imagine his poor wife like being like Shiva, possibly even working, taking care of the kids and the household while he's like off running for whatever, and also working and fundraising because yeah, like who gives a about your kids and family and all of that. No wonder she doesn't have much of a relationship with her father. Yeah, so no, no, whoever thought of that was insane. And also, yeah, and then there's a whole section on like how to do your makeup for a marathon. Now, if I was physically able to run, it actually sounds like a great workout. I would just pop on an audiobook, just put on some sneakers and just go out and run. Sounds great. There is a running track right next to my apartment, so it would be super easy. It's a great workout. I could lose weight in like seconds, but I can't. And if I ever ran a marathon, I would be crazy. Then, like my makeup, that would be the last thing I would be worrying about. I mean, I know I'm very girly for the most part, but when I'm working out, I'm like no makeup, most comfy clothes, put on. Like I have actually, I'm big, so I have very special, like very well engineered sports bras that cost an arm and a leg, but if you have them, you have to pay for them. So yeah, that would be it. Like I sometimes work out at home. I work out in basically nothing but a sports bra. And I'm not going to show it to you guys. Anyway, so yeah, I could rant about this book for hours, and I'm just going to stop here because I don't know. This book kind of annoyed me and infuriated me at the same time, and it was also very boring. So I don't recommend this book to anyone. It's 1 star. Like maybe if you're like a runner, maybe not even then. I mean, I read some reviews that said I'm a runner. I hated this book. So I don't know. Maybe there are people out there, especially if you're like this sort of person who's like people pleasing and all of that, and needs to be constantly in a social group or something, then it's for you. But no, not for me. And thanks. Yeah, that was a fail on the PopSugar challenge part. Well, I succeeded in completing the challenge. It was just a fail on actually reading something good. But yeah, So rant over before I just keep on going. Tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD. And so stay tuned for the next Pop Sugar Challenge drawing. I'm going to do that. And also, you can read my full written review, which I try to strip from rant as much as I could. And you can find it on Goodreads, Storygraph, and Unapologetic Reviews, my site. So, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to me rant for 12 minutes. Bye. I hope you weren't bored.